In this demonstration of Biomni's front office for Symantec, I'm going to take you through requesting a new starter. So I'm just going to scroll down through the service catalogue and go and select starters and levers. Now before we go and raise the request, I just want to show you a couple of areas of information that are connected with this request. Because this is a service catalogue, then you can store request information and information on the services next to where we go and request the item. So if I click on this item, on this icon for service information against the onboarding a new employee, you can see in here we've put information on the different types of skill sets that are required as an aid and as a so that the requester has all the information that they need on what type of people that they can bring on board. Also, if we look at the new starter, again this is more a generic information in here, but you can see we've put some generic information on service description, price description and service level description, etc. And all of the formatting, the images and the colours can all be done from within the front office editor. Alternatively, you can also cut and paste in here, and you can cut and paste HTML information and edit in HTML if you require as well. So I just wanted to show you that before we go in and raise the request for the new starter. Okay, so I'm now going to go on to onboarding new employee. So when I select on that link, it's taking us through to a bundle, and this bundle has a number of parts in it. Some of these are mandatory parts that you can't deselect from the bundle, and all of this is in the setup through the front office admin screen. But what we've done on this one is we've set a number of these items up so that they're mandatory, and for this desktop and laptop there's a drop down so you can decide which item it is you want. So if I go and select the apple, then that replaces the desktop that was in there. And if I want to view some details on that, then I just click on view and I can see the details there. You can see there's a number of items in here and they all follow this sort of format where some are mandatory and some are optional. So if I wanted to add something, just check on the checkbox there. And once I've decided what this new starter needs, we can then go and click on the Request Now button at the top of the screen. That now takes me into the requisition screen, and you can see here that it's pulled in some of the detail already for this user. So I'm logged in as administrator, but it's pulled in the default cost center, and then I just need to go and add in this information in this box here for the new starter details. So if we just put the name and a job title, so this will be something like product tester. We've got a location, and here this is an example of a dependent field. So you saw when I picked New York, it then made this box appear, which gives me a list of offices. If I'd selected another location, so if I selected California, then this time I get the choice of some different offices. So it's just an example of dependent fields which can be set up within the admin area of front office. I'm just going to now go and pick on finance and also a start date. Now all of these fields that are in this request can be changed and can be very easily updated. So if your users would used to see some other terminology and they need some additional fields, then that's all very easy to add in here through the front office admin area. Okay, so I've completed all of the mandatory details. We've got a section here for corporate application access, and what I'm going to do to begin with is just go and select all of these. And you'll see that as I select these, so we get the name of an application owner that starts to appear below. Now this can be this application owner can be pulled in from another system, or it can just be this data can be held in here. But what it's going to be used for is to actually drive the request to these particular application owners so that they'll be involved in the approval process as well. Finally, there's an additional information box at the bottom. It's not mandatory, so I don't need to add any information in there. So I've filled in all the details on this request. So what I'm going to do now is just to click on to item details, and we're just going to click through on this request. So item details just shows us all the items that we've got in the basket, and when I click on approvers, it's now coming up with a list of approvers who need to go in and approve this request. Now the line manager is coming up because of the default cost center that we put in, and then we've got these three. The next three are all to do with the applications that we selected. Finally, we've got a stager role, and the stager role is going to check to see whether there's any assets that can be reused. Specifically, it's going to look at the desktop laptop that was bought and see if that can be replaced by another part. Now, if I go back into my request and we just change some of those details, so I'm going to change the cost center now to cost center 2, and I'm also going to deselect a couple of these corporate application access. So we're going to say no to those now. So we've changed the contents on that requisition form, and I'm just going to go back up onto my approvers, and you'll see now that it's changed quite a bit. The line manager is now changed to somebody else, and also we've dropped off the other corporate application access ones so that they were no longer required. Okay, just for the purposes of this demo then, I'm just going to go back in now and deselect this this corporate access, so it just makes it smooth as we go through and approve it now. Okay, so we're just down to these two people in the approval path. One of them is an approver, so that means that they're the manager sort of role, and they will have, as you'll see when we go through, they come in and just approve the request and don't do much more. This staging role takes you into the request. You need to update the details, and staging roles are used where you need to add information or do some action on the request. We also have a third role, which is the notification role, and that's where somebody would just receive an email saying that this item has been requested. So I'm going to click on submit this request, and that request now has been sent off for approval. Now, because I'm logged in as the administrator, then I have access to the approvals for all of the requests. Now, normally what would happen is that the person who's been asked to approve the request would receive an email. In that email, there's a hyperlink, and when they select on that hyperlink, it takes them to the next screen we're going to see. So it would normally bring them into this screen. So as we said before, Busy Manager would click on that link, come into here, and they can have a quick look at all the details in this request, and they can decide whether they want to approve, decline, or put this request on hold. So I'm going to select approve, and it doesn't ask me for any additional details. And what it would do for that particular approver is to take them back into the approvals area. They'll obviously only see their own approvals, and if there's anything else for them to approve, they could do that there. Now, what this has done is, because, as I say, because we are an approver, then it's now shown us all the approvals that are open, and we can see now that the request that we were pushing through has now gone on to the next stage, this stager role. So again, I'm going to select on that request, and you can see now it's a slightly different look and feel when we come into here. So you can see that the all of the parts now are hidden, and what we can do as it goes through each of the roles in terms of the approval workflow, what we can do is we can show as many or as few of the fields as are needed to be seen by that particular person in the role. And so you can see also that what we've done is we've made a lot of these fields read-only so that they can't be changed. And what we've also done is we've added in this recycle hardware section, and this wasn't available to the requester, so we only have made this particular field visible for this role that we're looking at now. So I've got an assign from stock option that I need to go and decide whether I am or I'm not going to. And if I say assign from stock no purchase, then that's fine. That completes that details, and we could now go on and complete that request. If I say yes, we do want to assign that from stock, then I come up with it then produces this option below, which is to assign computer. And if I then click on the link, what this will do now is it will take me in via one of the via one of the integration adapters that comes with front office into the Altiris CMDB. And what it's done is it's pulled back a number of assets, and what we can do is we can set up a filter on which assets it brings back. So we could just decide to bring back assets that are associated to that particular user, assets of a particular type or at a particular location. This is just a general search that we've set up here behind the scenes, and it's just pulling back, I think, all the assets that are currently available. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick on one of these assets, and if I select OK, what that will now do is to pull back all that asset details into this particular request. And so now as it's going through, instead of buying a new computer, the end user will be allocated with this one, which is available at the moment. Okay, so I'm going to click on to the complete stage button now, because I've completed my role as a stager on this particular request. And that's now going to push this request over into the process manager. Now, before we go over and have a look at it over there, I just want to show you some of the details on here. So against all this is all of the this is the view that the end user would have at any one time. So they can come in and look and see all the details of their request. Most importantly, they can come in and have a look at the approval routing, and they can see where the approval routing is in relation to see whether it's actually progressed through approval and has hit the service desk. Also on here we've got an audit tab, so anytime anybody does anything to this request, there's a full audit of that kept within the request itself. And then finally the all tab just has all of the details associated with this request, so you can just view them in one screen. So all of that information is available to the end user at any one time, so that they can properly track where their request is. If we go up into requests now, you can see this is where they would be able to view all of the different request types that they've raised. Now, because I'm an administrator, then obviously I'm seeing everybody's requests. As an end user, they would only see the requests that they had raised, if that's how we would normally set it up for them. So if I just click on this request to onboard a new data, and then we can see the different requests that they've raised in here. And we can see that the request that we just raised is in progress. I've got a couple in draft here, one complete and one in approval pending. So you can see the different statuses of the requests as they're going through the system. Now what I'm going to do is to just switch to the process manager. So in here, just do a refresh on this. In here we're going to see that the actual request has passed over here, again via one of the adapters that ships with front office. And we can see here, if we just open it up, we can see some of the details of the request have fed through. And this is just really simulating that we can pass the request over and that we can do things with the request once it's in Altiris. So I'm going to click on Resolve Task on this. We've seen that the status is set as in progress over in front office, and now we're going to come in and close the task. So I'm just going to put some information in there, and we'll close the task. And this is just simulating all the activities that could be going on once the request has been passed over. Okay, so if I just do a refresh on that should have cleared in here. It has. So if we go back to here and let's change these filters a bit. So let's change this now to within last day. So now it's going to pick up the requests that have been raised in the last day, and there you are. You can see that this request that we raised has now gone to completed. So the end user can see that task has been completed. That completes the demonstration of the new starter request. And just go back to the home page. Thanks.